All right, Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to our apostles and elders. And Shalom to all the Akim out there preaching His word in truth and sincerity. We just doing a quick sit down real quick, going into like pretty much staying in the spirit and, being in the spirit mentally, meditating upon being in the spirit or spiritual things more so. Because that's what a lot of bros been going into, and that's what you like brothers have to do when you're on your own, on your day to day. Because meditating on the fleshly things is gonna, like I was watching a brother you call video, live show he did. He was mentioning how if you meditate upon the fleshly things, basically things you meditate upon, they come to the fruition, like you actually do it, So if you want to do things, spiritual things, you got to meditate on being in the spirit.
If I could add this too, because the battle is in your spirit, in your mind, your heart loud, so you're constantly warned, as the scriptures goes into, the flesh is constantly warned against the spirit, you want Psalms, right?
Yeah, you can get Psalms first.
This is Psalm chapter 19, verse 15. Psalm chapter 119, verse 15. Mm-hmm. I will meditate in thy precepts and have respect unto thy ways. I would delight myself in thy statutes. I would not forget thy word.
Yeah, so you're supposed to meditate upon his precepts, man. Like the scriptures tell you that. So that's what you're supposed to be doing. All right. And if you're not meditating upon that, then what else are you meditating on? Like things that's like fleshly going on in the world and whatnot. And then if you start focusing on those things, it's drawing you away from the word. Because when you're not focused on something, you're distracted now, right? Like if you're at work, you're doing a job, or you're doing anything in general, like you're doing something, you're working on whatever, and then once your mind goes somewhere else, you get distracted, you're not focused on what you're supposed to be doing anymore. So you gotta stay focused and meditate upon these precepts, man. Meditate upon his word. All right, meditate upon being in the spirit. Because if you keep your mind geared towards that, then it's gonna keep you on track, man. And you're not gonna slip up, all right, and start going off or falling off.
I got a precept for you as well.
Yeah,
This is Joshua 1:8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success.
Wait, you gotta read it again.
Okay. This is Joshua 1:8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth.
It shall not depart out of thy mouth, man. That's why we out there every week through the Spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, speaking these words. It's not departing out of our mouth. And during the week as well, when we make videos, we constantly speaking this word, man. All right, you keep going.
Okay. It says, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein.
Yeah, so you're supposed to, it said day and night. So you're supposed to always be meditating upon the word, all right? No matter what you're doing. Like, going back to, the video that the brother you called did earlier, all right? He was saying how no matter what you do, whether it's, going out doing something or anything in general, hanging with bros or whatever, it always circles back to speaking on something referring to the scriptures, because everything has to deal with the scriptures, all right? It always circles back. Like whatever conversation you have with a bro, y'all might be talking about, sports or women or, going out to get a drink, like he was saying. It always come back to the scriptures, because we constantly meditating upon the scriptures, so we're going to relate everything back to the scriptures at the end of the day.
Yep.
No matter what we're speaking about or whatever we're thinking about, we can always relate it back to the scriptures.
Just like Jeremiah, how he said he will speak the word of the Heavenly Father no more, because it became a reproach unto him. These 2/3 hate this word, but what it said, that the word of the Heavenly Father burnt inside him. He couldn't refrain from speaking, meditating on it. It just was in him, and that's what goes on with the apostle, the elders, and the rest of the Akim. This is constantly in on our spirit. All right, we have things that we got downtime, like the brother said, fellowshipping, get drinks. You might deal with your woman. Ultimately, we always meditating upon these scriptures, upon prophecy. We're locked in. I continue on. It says, "For then thou shalt for then thou shalt make thy way prosperous."
Yeah, you're gonna make your way prosperous, and how do you do that? By you being in the Spirit, all right, and the Lord rewards you, all right, because like you may be. I know that I done talked to brothers plenty of times where they might be like, you going catching hell. You might not know how you gonna pay rent this month or whatever you may be dealing with. But even though they're going through all that, they're still doing things in the Spirit, and then the Lord ends up taking care of those things or whatever they're going through, whether it was like money issues or car troubles, women issues, like whatever it may be. They stayed in the Spirit, and then the Lord handled. He basically gave them what they like needed. All right, like the scripture saying in Matthew's, like think not upon the things of tomorrow, because they're gonna take care of themselves.
Yep.
So if you staying in the Spirit, man, you don't have to you ain't gotta stress about nothing. We already got enough things to stress over. All right, Satan constantly messing with us. All right, these people in this world coming against us. But if we stay in the Spirit, all right, and stay spiritually minded, everything will take care of itself. Yeah, how about Shem Yahushua is going to look out for his men. And you're going to be prosperous, like the scriptures say. Because there's nothing for the Lord to make you a rich man, all right? Because the Lord makes you rich or poor or wherever you be at.
That's right. It says, "And then thou shalt have good success."
Yeah, and then you're going to have good success, all right? Growing in the Spirit, man. And that's what this is about, because his word is living water. So if you constantly stand in the Spirit, spiritually minded, all right, meditating upon his word, you're going to be lively, man.
It's the precept in Romans. It's Romans 8:5. "For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the Spirit, the things of the Spirit."
Yeah, so if you mind the things of the flesh, then you're going to go after those things, all right? Because if you constantly meditating upon it, then that's just going to build up your desire to want to go do that, because you're constantly thinking about it so much. But if you if you meditating upon spiritual things, that's what makes your actions stay in the Spirit, because that's what you desire to do. You're constantly thinking about it, like, I want to please Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, or make sure that I'm not going off doing anything that could cause me to go off, all right, purposely. You want to try to be on point as much as possible, because even though we're in the flesh, we still going to go off. Yet we try to be on point as much as possible in the Spirit.
That's right. For to be carnally minded is death.
But yeah, to be carnally minded is death. All right, because the things that's carnal that you meditate on, they all lead to death. These women, all right, you dudes can be so fixated on women, you end up committing adultery because you want a piece so bad. You happen to stumble upon a chick that's ready to give it up to you right then and there, but she has a dude. And most of the time, the chicks that's ready to have sex the same night, they be the ones that have a dude.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then it could be anything. Like, you just overdoing with money. You so fixated on getting more money that you're not fixated on the scriptures anymore. You focus on getting money, and then what happens when you get money? You're worried about how you got to spend it now.
Yep.
Or just anything that you can just, that could just basically take your mind off of being in the Spirit, man. That's why being carnally minded is death. Because all the things that's carnal, fleshly, that pleases the flesh, it's not pleasing to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Keep going.
But to be spiritually minded is life and peace.
Yeah, to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Because when you're in the Spirit and you do things in the Spirit, this word gives you life, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like the scriptures say, we give up our lives, that we lose our life to find it. So being in His word, man, it gives you life. All right. And like the Lord has said, He's not He's going to give you water that you should never thirst again. All right. You should never hunger with this word.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not about doing things that minding the carnal things, fleshly things. It's about minding the spiritual things, because that's what's going to bring you life. And ultimately, we want to see you receive salvation from the destruction coming. So you doing things that's carnal, that's going to lead to death. It's not going to lead to life.
Yep. It says, for to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Mm-hmm. Because the carnal mind is enmity against the Most High, for it is not subject to the law of the Most High, neither indeed can be.
Yeah, the carnal mind is against Yahweh Shem Yahushai, because like I was saying, it's everything that you do that pleases the flesh is not pleasing to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. It's only pleasing to you. It's not edifying to the body. It's not edifying to anyone. It goes back to basically pleasing yourself. You worried about yourself at that point. And the scriptures tell you the order, all right? Yahweh Shem Yahushai comes first, all right? Yahweh versus Yahweh, then Yahushai, and then man. All right, so we not supposed to be putting ourselves first before anybody. All right, we're supposed to be putting Yahweh Shem Yahushai first. All right, but I think that was a good point on that.
Yep. Let me hop into Galatians.
Yep.
This is Galatians chapter 5, verse 16. This I say then, walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh.
Yeah, and how do you walk in the Spirit? Like we was going into meditating day and night. All right. Continually meditating upon the precepts, this word, all right? Because then when those temptations present themselves, you meditating upon the word, you're gonna rebuke that. You're gonna rebuke Satan, all right? Like I was saying, the example of if a woman came up to you, like you've been burning or whatever, and a woman come up to you ready to go that night, then you're gonna, she's like, all right, you talking to her or whatever, then she say, all right, yeah, I wanna, we can go tonight, and then you ask her what she got to do. She say, yeah. You gonna remember the scriptures about committing adultery, and that committed adultery lack of understanding. All right, and you know that adultery is a sin that's worthy of death. And you knowing that, you're gonna be telling like, nah, I'm cool off of that. Even though that you burning or whatever, man, fuck that. Really, is it really worth fulfilling your desire of the flesh? Is it really worth you getting put to death? Because that's really what it is. When you fulfill that desire, all right, then after that, you got your burning off of you. Now what? Now it's just you're through.
Yeah.
Because you just went totally off because you were so busy trying to please the flesh that you just condemned yourself now.
It says, this I say then, walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the Spirit.
Yeah, the flesh lusteth against the Spirit, because the flesh wants to do everything contrary to the Spirit. That's why it's always a constant battle. All right, like the scriptures say, we could probably get it. The Spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Because like you always, you.
Oh, you want me to continue?
Yeah, read that part again.
All right. It says, for the flesh lusteth against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh.
Yeah, the Spirit against the flesh. So it's a constant battle, because your spirit wants to be righteous, but then your flesh wants to be wicked in this society, because that's like basically that vibration that's pushed out there is a wicked vibration. All right, it's always contrary to the Spirit. Everything that Esau pushes in this society is contrary to the Spirit. The food they promote, main thing they push out there is abominations. All right, these women, the society, it's the new norm for dudes to be side niggas. Women that act like a man, have multiple dudes. All right, everything's just contrary to the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And then you raised up in this society, you thinking it's okay at first, then you come to the truth. You gotta put off the old man, so you still at war with that old man while you're in this truth. Because those old ways that's really Satan try to come back in your mind. So you like, hey, this chick ready to go. Why don't you just go ahead and do that? Or a job ready to offer you more money, but you ain't gonna be able to make it to camp. Just different things that's like, you wanting to make more money, but it's gonna get in the way of the truth. So it's just like you constantly warring against the flesh, trying to be in the Spirit. So it's always a constant battle, not like the bro said, not physical battle. It's a spiritual battle, all right, mentally. Because it all starts out in your mind, and then when you meditating upon it, it comes into fruition, man. And you actually do it. So it's about where you're keeping your mind at.
That's right. This I got what you referred to. This is Saint Matthew chapter 26 verse 41. It says, watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Yeah, the spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak, man. Because brothers are, like every brother, I'm pretty sure wants to be on point all the time, like never go off and just like be be the epitome of perfection.
Okay.
But the flesh is always contrary to what the spirit wants. So it's always that constant battle, man. But that's a good thing, though. It keeps you on your toes.
Yep. Keeps you humble too.
Yep.
You know. So, yeah, because the Apostle Paul spoke about it. Oh, wretched man. You know, because we're in this wicked flesh. We're susceptible to sin. You know, we go off. That's why we have Yahweh Shai as the mediator, and Lord's will from the apostle and elders on down. We have His blood covering us. You know, from our transgressions, our past transgressions, and how we continue to go off today. Because like the brother said, we're not perfect. You know, but yet in the spirit we're being perfected. You know.
Yeah.
As we overcome this flesh in this world, you know. I'm gonna hop back into Galatians. This is back in Galatians, chapter 5, verse 17. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would.
Yeah, so that you cannot do the things that you would. Cause I know I'll be having times where like I'll be at work, and then I'll be like, man, when I get home, I want to do this and that.
Yep.
And then when I get home, I'm in a totally different like mood. Like, cause after work, like being in the society fucking wears you out. And then by the time you get home, you're not even like really like you ain't got no energy.
Okay.
You tired, ready to go to sleep. Cause you in these weak bodies. You want to do so much, but you really can't do all the things that you want to do because you're in these weak bodies. You're susceptible to the things of the flesh.
Okay.
Like Paul said, he said, the things that I would do, that do I not. Because we want to do a lot of things in the spirit, but we only can do so much because the flesh, it's a constant battle. And sometimes we're susceptible to those things of the flesh, all right? Not things that's like going off to the point of death, but like minor things, all right? As far as like you might want to get home, like I'm gonna do a video on this or that, or I'm gonna look up videos or look into this information or look into that. But then when you get home, it's like after so many things had happened, then through the spirit it didn't happen at that moment. Things got in the way of it happening. Satan hindered it from happening. In the flesh, man, because the flesh is weak.
Yep, I had matter of fact, I'll grab out this precept I have.
Oh, yeah.
This is Saint Matthew chapter 6, verse 19. It says, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
Yeah, so like scripture just said, plain and clear, man. You're supposed to be laying up treasures in heaven. Because anything here is basically compared to like things that can be taken by a thief or that gets that a moth can come corrupt.
Yeah.
So it's like everything here is pretty much going to, at the end of the day, anything that's on this world right now that you desiring for or you want, the missiles is going to wipe that out. So it's not going to be here forever. All right. But the treasures that we store in heaven, all right, which is that penny, all right, going back to the penny that we all going to be promised, that reward for the work that we putting in, that's what we're going to receive, man. Our treasures are stored up in heaven. It's like, Yahabashim Yahushai, remember our works that we did while we were here. Because there's a lot of things that we can do. We can be doing whatever, really. All right, we can be like these niggas that fell out, all right? Going to do, they ain't even doing it right, but going into the world and so-called trying to live your life. But we not trying to live our life. We trying to live the life of Yahabashim Yahushai, as a servant of Yahabashim Yahushai, all right? Which doesn't intend on building treasures on this earth. We focus on building treasures up in heaven, man.
Okay.
We focus on, we got that single eye towards the kingdom, man. We fixated on the kingdom.
That's right.
Because everything here is corrupt, defiled. All right, all the way from the air, the food, to these women, anything that you can think of is it's all defiled. All right, it's nothing here that can sincerely make you happy or like bring you true happiness in this society. Because you could have people that have it all, they still depressed, they still sad. Because at the end of the day, this place is wicked, and it's just vexing for your spirit, man. Being here, all right. You're constantly worn out in this society daily. So like, how could you be happy working a 9 to 5? Really, if you work in a 9 to 5, how could you be happy being a slave, knowing that you gotta be subject to Esau's laws? You can't be a real king like we're supposed to be. All right, we're a prince of the power. We're supposed to be doing whatever the hell we want, having slaves, servants. We don't have nothing. So why would you care about storing anything here that Esau can come take at any moment? It's not even like it's a real robber breaking in your house. It's Esau, the basis of man. He can take all your shit at any moment, kick you out your own house. So we literally don't have nothing here. All we got is this word, man.
That's right. It's verse 22. The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. But if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve the Most High Mammon.
Yeah, no man, you can't have two masters, man. And that's these dudes that fell out. Their master was Satan, man. Really, because if you want anything in the world, Satan controls the world. So they wanted their master was Mammon, which is basically Satan. Because like all this money, the way you get more money in society is by being demonic. Because the vibration of this world is demonic. So you have to get on a low vibration, which is a wicked vibration in this society, and doing things that's worldly in order for you to get money. And then those people that wanted those things of the world, they hated like I said, they hate the other. They hated the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. They're like, man, why we gotta go out there every week? Man, I don't want to. Why I gotta do sit downs? Why I gotta do this? Why I gotta do that? It's always about they thinking about them. Why do I gotta do this? Why do I gotta do that? It's always going back to you. It's not about you. All right. And the scriptures tell you the whole duty of man is serving Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So,
Right.
what the hell are you talking about? All right, it's not about pleasing yourself. It's about pleasing Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and what's pleasing to Him is pleasing the body, man. Getting His word out there, waking up the elect, and edifying the elect, man. That's what's pleasing to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right.
That's right. Keeping your eyes on the prize, constantly denying this flesh, examining yourself, being a brother, being in the spirit, like the brothers going into, watching these prophecies, being on your watch, praying, you know what I mean, enduring these daily afflictions that we go through, all for the glorification of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. This is pleasing unto Him,
Yeah, man. Having integrity as a man, man.
Okay.
Because you know that we got to catch up or whatever, but it's like, is it worth to like stop that catching hell? Is it really worth it to know that at the end of the day you're going to be destroyed? You stop catching hell for a brief moment, but now you're going to be put to death, and you don't know how. Yahweh Shem Yahushai can do it any way He pleases, and you're going to receive a sword destruction for like basically turning your back on Yahweh Shem Yahushai after He allowed you to receive this knowledge. All right. Because the scriptures tell you that you should be happy knowing the things that you do know, because everybody else out there, they don't know shit. They just lost in the sauce. But we was blessed to know this, to get this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So we should be grateful even for the minor, knowing the basics, so-called basics, man. Because the basics take you a long way with anything, man. With everything you could think about, knowing the basics takes you far. If you always refer back to the basics, it can get you a long way, man.
Yeah, that's the foundation, man, and the foundation is Yahweh Shai. That's firm, all right. And if you're rooted and established in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, You're not going to be swayed by these doctrine of men. You're not going to be swayed with anything Satan throws at you. That's why you have to constantly be covered in this armor, you know, so that Satan doesn't have any loopholes to get in and do his job, which is to lead us astray, man, to lead us into condemnation with these 2/3, you know, in the rest of this world.
Whenever Satan came at Yahushua, what did he do?
Mm-hmm.
He rebuked them through the scriptures, all right? He was meditating upon the scriptures. He instantly came back with a rebuttal from the scriptures, all right? So whenever anything, any sort of temptation or anything or wicked thought comes to your mind, you're supposed to rebuke that and go refer back to something in the scripture, all right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how you walk in the spirit, man. Anytime a situation presents itself to do something that's wrong, you can just rebuke it by referring back to the scriptures. Like, nah, I'm not going to do that. That's going off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know I have thoughts that pop up in my head, and then I'll just be like, nah, man, that's like, I know that's not my thought because that doesn't even sound like myself.
Yeah.
And I'll just think about the scriptures and rebuke it and go on about my day. But you got other dudes, once you take heed to that, you actually start meditating on it, fixate your mind on that, that's how you fall out. Yeah. Or you fall into whatever that thought was. And then you actually go and you do it. Because you actually was thinking about it and didn't rebuke it.
Yep. Gave heed to that seducing spirit, you know.
Yep.
I got a precept. This is 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour, whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world.
Yeah. So we supposed to. Well, you can read the first part again.
Okay. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
Yeah, we're supposed to be vigilant, man. All right. Because Satan, he's constantly trying to get us, all right? Not even the physical demon Satan, all right, like Esau. The spiritual demon Satan is always trying to get us because he knows our weaknesses. And he's constantly trying to attack our weaknesses. That's why you always got to be vigilant, man.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to know that you're not the only ones going through it, all right? Whatever I go through, I know I'm not the only one going through it. It's whatever, you going through, you're not the only one going through it. Every brother's going through something. All right, they got their own different trials and tribulations they're going through, but it's things that Yahushua knows that their spirit can handle. All right, so everybody in the body is going through different things at the end of the day, but it's about how you're going to handle it. Being vigilant. All right, staying on your watch, walking in the spirit, because Satan's always constantly trying to devour you. And how do you avoid that from happening? From being vigilant, all right? Being meditating, man. Being mindful, all right? Knowing that knowing that Satan's always on the prowl trying to get you out this truth. You gotta always be like in the spirit, all right? Whenever a thought that's contrary to the word comes in your head, you gotta rebuke that. Don't just let that shit ride.
Yeah. You
gotta meditate on the scriptures and be like, nah. Filter it through the scriptures, like brothers always say. If it's contrary to the ways of Yahushua, that's Satan, and you need to rebuke it, or else you're gonna let that thought stay in your head and then take heed. So it's either one or two things you're gonna do.
It said verse 9, whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world.
Yeah, these same afflictions, like I was saying, the brothers in the world, they're going through it. All right. Brothers out in London, out in Arkansas, everywhere, LA, all the Texas, all the brothers, wherever you see brothers at, we all catching hell, man. We just don't verbalize it like, oh man, like when you get in the video, man, this was happening to me this week, this such and such happened. We may bring out certain points, but it's for edification. But we're not going into every last detail of the hell that we catch here. We just deal with it, man. Because we know that's just part of the tribulation and part of being in this truth, man. Being in this knowledge, man. All right? And the scriptures tell you that. You coming into this, you gotta, the word was sweet in your mouth at first and then it's bitter. Because you knowing the things that you know, now you gotta just it just makes you mad sometimes, or it vexes you. You knowing that we supposed to be in a higher state, but we at the lowest state right now. But we know that we got greater things coming. That's why we storing up them treasures in heaven.
Yeah, I'm make 2 more precepts unless the spirit.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, this Salakia 2 Timothy verse 2, Salakia 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua Mashiach. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life.
Yeah, so you supposed to endure hardness as a good soldier, man, and not get entangled with the affairs of this life, man. Don't get wrapped up in what's going on in this world, all right? Just do what you got to do as far as in the worldly aspect to be able to sustain yourself, all right? But don't get wrapped up in this world at the same time, all right?
That he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier.
Yeah, that you may please him that chosen you to be a soldier. Please Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. So whatever we do, that's what we supposed to be focused on, man. It's not focusing on pleasing yourself or making yourself happy. It's about pleasing Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And when you being focused on pleasing Yahweh Shem Yahushai, he's gonna look out for you. Because you're focused on praising, constantly praying to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, doing what you need to do in the spirit. Yahweh Shem Yahushai is going to reward you. All right? Because it's a light thing for the Lord to give you money, to give you whatever you desire. It's all a light thing for the Lord to give it to you. It's nothing. That's very minor for the Lord to give it to you. Because we're gonna receive greater things from Yahweh Shem Yahushai in the kingdom. So that's really nothing. Anything that he can give you on his side, it's really nothing. So that you should be focused on doing things that's pleasing to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And then anything that you do desire, all right, that's not going to cause you to go off. The Lord is going to give it to you. And he's going to show you like he's rewarding you for you walking in the spirit and doing what you need to do.
Yeah, we can end it with this unless you got anything else.
No, we can end on that because it ain't that much memory left.
Okay. This is Revelation 3:11. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown.
Yeah, hold that fast which you have, which is his word, man.
Yep.
And who's trying to take that crown from you? Satan. All right? He's trying to devour, like we read in the other scripture, he's trying to devour you as a roaring lion, man. So you got to hold that fast what you do have. And how do you hold fast to it? Meditating upon it and constantly using it by making videos, man. Speaking and making videos, man. Applying it to your daily life. All right, holding it fast, man. Meditating upon it day and night, like the other scripture we brought out. So you gotta hold fast to it, man. Hold on to it for dear life, because that's really what it is. Because once you let it go, you gave up, and now your life.